Hi guys, this is Sidney. So today I wanted to share with you some of the messages that have been coming based on the energies that I have been tapping into regarding Pluto entering into Aquarius and then full moon in Leo, and what has been taking place recently energetically that I saw in regards to Gaia's ascension that's affecting everyone right now, including you and me, everyone in the collective. So you can utilize this energy, and I'm going to share what you may be going through and what you can do, and share some insights and guidance, so it may help you at this time. So take however resonates for you and discern for yourself always, and keep your power to yourself like that. Okay, tune into your intuition. So the energy around the Pluto entering into Aquarius, that was on the 20th of January, had been pretty emotional. So a few days before, around that time, the energy that I received with the channel messages connected from Source and Gaia was a lot of the guilt energy that we were carrying as a collective in regards to the survival time period, in regards to our experiences in the age of darkness. That is the age of Leo that started, meaning everything was patriarchal, it was very much hierarchical, it was very power-centric, it was very dominant. So there are a lot of wars, battles, and so we carry a lot of those wounds and energies from this collective trauma in everyone's DNA right now, and we are trying to heal that at this time. And with that, the reason why you may have been feeling a lot of emotions around that time especially was because we received very high frequency light from the Pleiades. So we received a lot of Pleiadian healing energy support at the time. And this is the seventh dimensional energy, which is the number 7, the seventh heaven, and 7 being the significance here. And with the Christ consciousness energy that was supporting us with a lot of energy of Jesus, and a lot of people may have been talking about religions and all those beliefs, right? Because all those beliefs were used as a tool to go against our own nature, meaning we were taught unconditional love, but manipulated to be conditioned within the boundaries of religious beliefs. So they play tricks basically, right? They talk about unconditional love, but when you really go deeper into the layers of what they're teaching and sharing people, meaning conditioning people with their belief system in their mind, was all about the idea of separation. And one of the biggest example was the idea of heaven versus hell. So versus is a very symbolic and important here, meaning it separates because it's an opposing force. One represents the good, the other represents the bad. One represents the devil, the other represents the angels. So with this idea, a lot of people are or have been living in fear, and especially people who are aging and they know they're about to die. They're so worried and fear about the idea that they may be going to hell, and the images and the beliefs and ideas they have been conditioned is horrific. So all of these were to anchor down this energy of fear to people's minds, and that fear has been passing down from one by one through one generation to the next in our DNA. So what I also saw was DNA activation and DNA healing right now that's continuously taking place. And I saw the word end, A and D that we use, A and B, right? continuing. But what I saw when I saw that word was the reverse. And when you reverse the word AND, it's DNA. So we are reversing that right now. We are reversing the ancestral cycle of passing down the war trauma, the battle trauma, the guilt, the shame. And all of these created anxiety and worries. And we are releasing that altogether, and we've been continuing to do so. And I mentioned something about the energy peak around October time in my other video. And that was relating to the Palladian energy. So we didn't have this energy available until the October, I think 22nd of October in 2023. But now we are receiving and getting the support of the seventh dimensional Palladian healing energy directly from source. And this energy is very soft and gentle. So it's not going to really be turbulent or have this drastic effect on the body, which sometimes we may experience if you are exposed to a certain environment where there's super high frequency. Our body is not adjusting to that, and it can make us sick. But this energy is very soft from what I felt during my sleep time. It comes down through the crown chakra, and what I see is very soft and light. It's very similar to unicorn light, unicorn energy. So whenever I connect to the unicorns or my personal unicorn Keisha, it comes in as this white light that is very, very soft, very, very loving. So whenever it comes, it makes me giggle and just immediately just very, very soft, as if you are connecting to your pet. So that's one way to describe it best, I would say. I don't personally have any pets, but when I, connect with animals, you feel that love is very soft and gentle. And warm and loving, and you don't want to leave because it's so nice, right? So in a way, it's like that right now. And what I heard from the angelic realm is that once you embody this seventh dimensional Palladian healing light, and as you are purging or doing some shadow work or ego integration, everybody's on a unique journey. So once again, just reminding you, we don't need to compare, because the moment we keep comparing, we lower our vibration, because we are constantly living in ego. And our goal is to integrate that ego and then bring that higher self or the soul aspect as the main activator, the main performer of our day-to-day life is the fifth dimensional energy goal right now. So what's taking place with that is, once you integrate that energy, you will have access to the 11th dimensional frequency that you can have access to on earth right now, which is huge. So it's going to really support your heart healing. So with that, something that I want to share with you is about dealing with guilt. So this idea of guilt has been coming down from this idea of punishment. So the idea of punishment meaning the right or wrong. So when we look at the history, we've been seeking what's right and what's wrong. And it was very much logic based. When you look at all these dramas or movies, the historic dramas, right, the politics, it was always about, okay, show us the proof and then we are going to talk about it. Even though people know the truth, even though everyone knows that he did it, unless they don't have the proof, unless they have the proof, someone was being accused, someone was accused of being responsible for the mess they created, the problem they created. So it was all very manipulative. And with that, there's a lot of guilt energy and shame energy that was carried out in the vibration of earth. So it's like the emperor or the king knew the truth, but he would often disregard it because he wants to keep the power, or he wants to keep the peace on the surface level, because if you kill that person is very powerful and has a huge army, and they may rebel to throw the throne out of his place. So to keep that in his own hands, he would say it's lack of proof. So it was very much logic-based world, and right now we are moving into the logic, from logic to intuition. And so with that, what came was a lot of people on a personal level, or on a family dynamic, they constantly learn to punish their kids. So it's not like literally harsh punishment, or it could be, but recently I was at this place outside, and in the table next to me was came in a mother with two daughters, and they were trying to order some food, and the mother was very harsh with the older kid, and the younger one was very just bubbly, and the mother was constantly pushing the older one, do you want this or you want that? If you're not going to finish the whole dish, I'm not going to order this for you this time. And then she kept choosing for her and giving her only the two options, okay? And the older child didn't say anything. I think she was like in a teenage year, like she's feeling rebellious against this treatment. So she doesn't say anything, and she's not budging, and the mother got angrier. And at the end, she said, okay, and she just took off. You're not gonna get any meal today. It's only your sister. I'm only going to order this for your sister. And then she went off and she ordered only one food, okay, for her sister. And that's how we use this on a day-to-day basis, and it's quite normalized. That if you don't listen to me, you're going to be punished. If you don't listen to me, there's no meal. And what happened with the younger one? The younger one is watching all this, and she's starting to feel chaos and fear around the environment. So she goes into the survival mode. And when the mother came, she realizes and she picks up that the power game here, the power meaning the superior power that person holds, is the mother. So she clings on to the mother, and she starts to perform pleasing. Like she starts to act like cute and try to pacify the situation a little bit and make her mom feel a little bit calmer and not angry because she's scared. Okay, so that's what's taking place on a subconscious level. Okay, so if a baby is crying, if you don't cry, even though the baby cannot understand what you're saying, oh, there's the tiger coming, it's going to eat you up if you don't stop crying. This has been something that's been used, or, that I used to hear quite a bit around people. And so these are all consciously and unconsciously programming the kids or the children, and that's how the fear is passed down. Okay, so on a subconscious level, on an unconscious level, what we learn to do is we learn to blame ourselves. And when you've been heard by someone, or you've been doubted by people around you, your family members, your teachers, whoever, that you can't make it, you're stupid, you're useless, you always get C's and D's, you're not going to make it to in this world if you don't study like that, or something like this. Okay, they scare you constantly. So another message that came with that was we are moving from scared to sacred. So when you look at the word, I saw the word scared, and then when you change the word, just if you switch the word, scared becomes sacred. So we're moving into the period of fear, into the period of spirit or the divine. So that's why it is important for us to connect with the divine. And the best way to do that is using gratitude and use affirmations, because right now what I see is affirmations is a tool that can help you so much to get out of your comfort zone. Because when we were in that fear state and guilt state, we are always feeling like we did something wrong. That's the assumption, the base assumption that we have about ourselves. I did something wrong. So whenever someone comes up and we sense that they're about to penalize us, criticize us, judge us, we react. We're like, no. And then we go into battle. So we start to argue or we get angry and we become the opposing force with one another. We separate and we start to hate, and with that the mind gets contaminated with stories that are connected to that energy, constantly generating thoughts. So even though you are not with the person, you constantly suffer this after effect within your mind, because in your mind is contaminated now with these thoughts, and it starts to generate stories that are kind of out of your control because you're unconscious. So in order to take control of that, we need to be conscious of these stories. Okay, so something that comes up is your self-narrative. It's like, oh, I'm stupid, or oh, that was so stupid of me to do that, or oh, that's so pointless, or it's meaningless to do that, or it's not as significant, or I'm useless, or that's useless, or it's my fault, or it's like, I'm so bad, I'm a scumbag, I'm a liar, I'm this, I'm that, like self-sabotaging inside. So when you have these strong certainty, meaning with these sentences, this is all very certain in that moment, right? Your conviction that you are stupid, your conviction that you're useless, your conviction that you don't mean anything in this world or to anyone. When you look at these words, it's so certain, you start to believe it. Is the power of these affirmations. And you want to reverse that, because you can do it just in the opposite way and start believing and have conviction that you are not that, which we are going into using the words, the magic, creating that to remember who I really am. I am worthy. I am enough. I am capable. I have limitless potential. I believe in myself. I trust myself. I trust where I am. No matter where I am, I trust that I'm always where I need to be. Okay? So these words are so powerful. And we often underestimate the power of these simple affirmations, because in that moment, you're creating that certainty within yourself around this chaos that you're surrounded by, the constant changes. And right now, it's very chaotic in the world. And to seek peace within yourself, to find peace within, is in a way an extension of you accepting who you are in that moment. And you used to convince yourself, have so strong conviction that that was meaningless, that was stupid, that was pointless. Because why? You used to hear them. And where did you hear them from? You used to hear them from society, from your parents, from your caretakers, from people around you, from your teachers, from your friends, from people around you. However, your surrounding was, we heard these Even though it wasn't directed, sometimes manipulated, it was sometimes projected because we were the scapegoat. The children seemed to be weak and innocent, so the adults can say anything to them, right? So that was the programming, and that was one way to pass down, end, right? But now we need to reverse that. We need to go into DNA healing. And with that, what I received was the increased red blood cells. So the red blood came as a significance as we heal this part of ourself, or this wound that we hold through our conviction, meaning belief that I used to believe in. Once you change that, meaning get out of your comfort zone, instead of saying I'm useless or this is meaningless, you're going to say different things on a conscious level, which is going to be your effort, right? Your effort in your healing journey. And when you make these conscious choices and put in conscious efforts, your blood cells is going to change, was what I got. And the red color is representing the root chakra. And with that, you're going to feel more secure and peaceful within yourself, within the temple of your body, within your energetic body, in your root chakra. Because we have been mainly operating on our lower chakras, unbalanced in fear. But now you are changing that altogether. So if the more you use these affirmations and make conscious efforts into reprogramming your mind on your own, which is possible, anybody can heal oneself. It's just that one doubts oneself, and we've been doubted in many different circumstances, at workplaces and schools and families. Okay, so we are healing this all together, but it is possible for you to heal from this altogether, because it is you that's going to say, no, I'm not going to doubt myself anymore. Okay, no, I'm not going to take on other people's projections and their belief system and their opinions and ideas of me, right? You know who you are. I know who I am, the certainty, boom, right? In this chaotic world. And when we don't know that, we're going to be like, what is certain? What is certain? We look for certainty because we are so addicted to control in fear programming, right? So when someone says you are this, you're like, okay, that gives me comfort because that person is saying it with so much conviction and certainty, but it's outside of yourself. It's someone's opinions and ideas. So we need to bring that from and within yourself. I believe in myself. I am beautiful. I am enough. I love myself. I am worthy. I am lovable. I deserve to be loved. Okay? And a lot of the times with guilt, we do not feel like we deserve to be loved. Okay? That's one of the very things that we are all healing with. And so you want to change these words, that I am this, I am that, because it's anchoring down that energy, that certainty within yourself. You start to believe it so much. That's how you can shift your limiting beliefs to your limitless beliefs, okay? Because that is who you are, the infinite being of love and light, the limitlessness, the infinite potentialities. That is limitless within yourself. That is the number 8, the year of the 8 right now in 2024. And so there's going to be a lot of karma being served, and justice being served has been coming up quite strong. So depending on what you chose, you're going to see the consequences or the effects of that. And I know that a lot of people are afraid of the word consequences nowadays because of the conditioned mind. It used to the energy has been tied to the idea of punishment. And I've experienced a lot of people, when they even hear the word karma, they get scared when I tap into the energy, because that's how we've been fear programmed into duality right now. The karma is punishment. What goes around comes around. When we hear that, we get scared on a subconscious level. Why? Because on a subconscious level, we go into ourselves and we're like, what did I do wrong? Did I make any mistake? And it creates such fear that if I made a mistake, if I did something wrong, then something bad is going to happen, and you start to expect something bad to happen, which is going to play out because with your mind, you're constantly putting spells, right? And so we also learn to always expect the worst. Okay, expect the worst. Things to worry about is one of the symptoms, right? We're constantly worried about things, and we don't have anything to worry about. We get worried because we don't have anything to worry about. Everything seems to be fine, is also becoming the problem, right? So we need to heal all of that right now with by using the affirmations. And when you meditate, meaning you can do in any different ways, you can be in nature, you can just walk to work, but you're going to be zoomed in. You can use a lot of healing frequency sounds with your earphones, right? Microphones. And then when you get into that idea, you can meditate inside the train, inside the bus, inside any parts of the city, any place that you are in. As long as you are inside you, and then keep focusing on yourself. And something that you can do on a practical level is also with something called energy vampire is a term that I learned, referring to people that are unconscious, and these lower entities are using these people to get to you, to lower your vibration by start picking a fight with you, by saying like, nasty comments or throwing negative comments, right? Or just complaining to you, blaming you for something that they're feeling right now. And all of these things can play out when you're raising your vibration, because these lower entities do not want you to shine your light. They want to make you feel small and dim your light constantly. So they're going to bring these people or entity or the souls into your immediate reality to, in a way, to pick a fight. So you start to doubt, you start to get into fear. Okay, so something that you can do is, you know, using your discernment. You don't want to first choose these environment. You just want to simply walk away without arguing. Okay, or detach yourself from these people, or engaging yourself in conversations, or, you know, hanging out with them. You know, there are people and friends around you like that, for example, and use your discernment with your intuition, right? Because you know best, not me. So something that you can do is when you're in a work setting and these people are talking constantly, and they can seep through your auric field and lower your vibration. Something that you can do is you can zoom in, and whatever affirmations that you have, or you can use songs. For example, like I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly, you know, or something that is bright. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for pain, thank you for joy. You know, all these songs that has really high frequency lyrics and the words and vibration in the music. Anything that will keep you in that vibration, you want to constantly sing in your mind. Whenever these people are talking or they're trying to do something, it's one way to keep your energy to yourself, and it's going to create some sort of auric protection when these things happen. Or whenever you are feeling afraid, it's like you may be still healing from your nervous system. And at work situation, you know, if you're scared of someone because that person has like position power, and they're always, you know, saying something to you, and you have this develop this fear around this person, and you're feeling this anxiety right now, or the nervousness, right? The heart palpitation, like, beating really fast. This all the physical symptoms. What's taking place is your body remembers who to fear, what fear feels like whenever there's a vibration that you are feeling or sensing, because that person holds that frequency. So you want to heal that, and when you want to do it, you use your breath, okay? Using your breath is always effective. It's one of the things that a lot of people underestimate as well. So use your breath. Breathe in deep, in and out. And as you breathe, feel your body relaxing and command your body to relax and say you are safe. I am safe. I am protected. Everything's fine. I'm okay, right? Continuously repeat this is one way to also get out of your comfort zone, meaning your survival DNA, and healing your nervous system, and then upgrading and transforming your DNA, and anchor that down, the peace within, the home within, in your root chakra. Okay, so whenever you are in that environment that makes you feel that through certain memories as well. So it could be a place that you go into, it could be a person that you encounter, it could be anything that triggers you this response. You don't want to react like before, but now you are in charge. You're conscious of what's happening. So you are going to shift direction. That is the conscious effort I'm constantly talking about, okay? And you want to sing the song. Thank you for this, thank you for that, right? Any song that's very uplifting, that you resonate with the lyrics, that is very positive, uplifting, and high frequency in that moment, that you are in joy, that you are in peace, and you keep your energy to yourself. And when your vibration is not lowering, you're not going to attract the same vibration. That's why they pick a fight with you, because your vibration is lowered. So usually that's what's happening, and that's how these lower entities want to get to you, because first they want to mess with your head so that you have certain thoughts on a subconscious level. It starts to lower the vibration, and that way they can bring this unconscious soul, and they can manipulate them, and they can make them come to you, because now your vibration is low, and at the same level as them, they can come in to your reality and start to do things to make you doubt, make you fear, make you feel guilt, and go into that idea of, I'm something wrong, or defending my position, right? Defensiveness is one of the things that we are all healing from, because the moment you defend, you go into the battle mode. Okay, so one of the things at this point that the source is telling me to share is not to choose battle. Not to choose battle, because that time period is over. And we are healing from expecting something to go wrong in the future. But that energy has ended with the Pluto entering Aquarius, okay? So with that, what I saw was on the day of full moon in Leo was a very, very important energy that came. Was that I was going outside to ground myself and meditate quite a bit. And I usually do with my bare feet, even though the weather is very cold. I take off my shoes, my socks, and then I'm usually guided to a certain spot by my spirit team. So it's a very different spot, different tree that will speak to me, and I go to that spot, connect with the sun, connect with the energy. Perhaps there's a portal. And what I did was I was doing the meditation and doing breath work. And breath work is very important right now, and the spine health is so important. You want to stretch your body. And if you're suffering from sclerosis like me, you want to do some exercises to strengthen your backbone, your spine, because a lot of the Kundalini activation is taking place right now. And it's also to heal your divine masculine energy, because just by us having this different position, moving the physiology, it creates a different hormone within our physical chemical bodies, so that like a testosterone, you will have more testosterone when you are standing erect with your shoulder wide open, because it's when we are like not, confident, we do this, right? So you want to do this. And a lot of the souls who carry like ancestor karma like me, we have issues with bones and structures and the posture. So now it's available for us to correct it or align that, realign. And this is possible because personally I've been experiencing body pain all my life. Ever since I was 6, I remember my back going off and my neck going off, and all this bone structure was like crooked and misaligned, and I suffered ever since I was a little kid, the back pain, the constant chronic pain, but slowly with exercise it improved. And it was because what I received was, it was because I needed to carry that karma in different parts of the body to release everything. So as you release these karma, you're going to feel lighter and you will have no pain in that area, but you have to put in the conscious effort. You have to learn to do some exercises, not like just for strength training, but how to align your body and like rehab in a way. When you do that, you're going to feel better. Okay, you can use yoga, for example. Okay, so going back to that full moon in Leo, on that day, I was outside and doing some meditation. And then I was looking into the sun and then standing barefoot on the ground. And I started to do some, like light languaging and all of that as it comes intuitively. So I don't recognize or I don't say or order myself to do it. It just comes as I'm connected. And I've been connecting to the inner earth quite a bit. And I've been connecting it ever since I woke up in 2018. And my guides have been guiding me, especially through 2019. And I've been doing a lot of grid work back then to raise the vibration of the earth at the time. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it because I was drawn to do it. And, even though I didn't remember who I was, what I was, whether I was a starseed, I was doing it at the time. And so, especially last year, when I was in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, I was there for 3 months, around May, June, I think July, August time. So I was there and I was connecting to that part of the earth, the energy of that earth. And I was doing a lot of meditation in nature like this. And especially connecting to the trees, because the trees there are giant. And so when I was doing it, I would go into the inner earth and I've been seeing giant crystal there. And so I've been connecting my earth star chakra to that of the giant crystal in the inner earth. And I was connecting to the grand central sun. So bringing that sun energy down and then bringing that crystal energy from the inner earth and then locking that in my heart center. So bringing down heaven and earth energy. And what I was like doing intuitively this time on the full moon in Leo was I was doing the same, connecting to the inner earth with the giant crystal. But then this time I was going into Neptune, and in Neptune there's another giant crystal that I knew, and I was connecting and bringing that energy down. And what I saw, okay, so with the Neptune, I have to go back to around March, April time in 2023. A lot of things changed from that point onwards, because, it was in my soul contract. I had to wake up and I had to clear the Egyptian timeline and integrate my soul aspect as an goddess Isis, which was hard to believe for me, but I had to follow the clues and the signs and messages that kept coming by the spirit team, and really trust and integrate the energy and clear up that timeline, which was very, 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 very challenging. And I wasn't able to sleep. I wasn't sleeping much. I wasn't eating much because I wasn't able to. There were constant activations, remembrance, out of this world experiences. And so everything was very erratic. And what happened was during my sleep time, I would get a lot of messages and constantly communicating with Source and Gaia, receiving messages. And then I had to also go through a physical transformation where my right side of the brain it was like some kind of laser was shooting down at my right side of the brain. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep for about 3 weeks. Okay, that was in Penang. So that time I was in Penang, Malaysia, and I was guided to be there by my spirit team, connect with the ocean there for some energy. And so when I was there, in my dream time, I remember so vividly, and it was one of the experiences that is so impressive or memorable, is because in my dream time, I usually have lucid dreaming. And I was in this place, boom, and there was this giant gate in front of me. And then immediately in my mind, in my sleep time, I knew this is Neptune. And then I woke up and I think I was there perhaps longer, but when I woke up, all I remember was I was there so vividly, like so physically, as if, like this physical reality right now that I'm experiencing. And then I knew it was Neptune, and there was a giant crystal that is connected, from the golden age of Atlantis that was planted in Neptune. So it's been preserved or protected, stored there in Neptune. And I was there in front of this gate, and it was closed. And when I was doing the meditation, moving into different dimensions, on the day of the full moon in Leo, the gate opened. Not fully, but a little bit. And then I was connecting my energy to that giant crystal where the violet flame was, representing the 33, number 33. That is also related to the soul star chakra with the 33 chambers that I mentioned in my previous video, where we are going to unlock our soul gifts and talents and unique abilities to rebuild the new golden age. And that was available now. And now with the Palladian healing energy, and now this gate opened in Neptune, it's unbelievable energy. Okay, and so with that, previously I've been receiving a lot of messages about Poseidon and the water energy. And the Poseidon was, we are going to bring down all the spirit into matter. And the operating point is not the ego anymore. It's going to be the spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. So the Trinity becomes very important right now. And that's why we are healing the body, nervous system, anchoring that down to our root chakra is the home within. Because we need to find the home within, the temple within. And when we anchor that down, we are going to operate from a place of peace that is related to harmony, not the place of fear that is creating anxiety and separation in the battle. Okay, so that was quite significant. And as I was connecting that, bringing the energy down, and also connecting the energy with the crystal and the inner earth, I was locking that in my heart center, and I was doing that. And usually what I did was I rubbed my hands and I do this, connected to the sun, the bottom of my hands. And as I was doing that, I saw this symbol coming up, this spiral symbol that is connected to the Atlantis. Okay, and that symbol showed up in my third eye, both my palms and the bottom of my feet on my Earth Star chakra and my heart center. And when it appeared in my heart center, it turned into the Metatron's cube. And then it starts to sparkle with light, shine. And in that moment, I felt the energy of Archangel Metatron behind me. So, and with the great commander Ashtar. So that's with that, what we are doing is we are remembering who we really are at this point, and we are just starting that point. What I received was the new age. We entered into a new age. So what I'm guided to share with this is that when you have a habit of constantly worrying that something bad might happen, and you want to prepare yourself on a conscious or subconscious level, is to use these affirmations by reprogramming yourself consciously that everything's going to be fine. Everything is fine. Everything is always working out for me. Something like that. And it's going to anchor you down into your root chakra to find home within, to find peace within. And you're going to be the force for peace, which we need to reverse this energy of battle, the battle to win. And when we lost, or when we've been killed by being accused, we used to use all our energy to revenge, right? That's how the society runs, or the energies run. Okay, so you don't want to go into battle once again. No need to revenge. No need to do this. So with that, the word of forgiveness came. And with this Palladian healing energy from the 7th, with the frequency that is coming directly from source, that is connected to the Jesus energy. So a lot of the belief system in the religious context that people are living under are going to begin to heal. And people are going to be more conscious and aware and heal this area. But what I also saw was because there are a lot of different frequencies, different people and individuals hold. Some people need this shelter in a form of religion right now because they have no one to turn to, no place to go. And these churches and places and temples are providing them the safe place for them to heal and realize something within. So at this moment in time, we cannot get rid of everything altogether, but slowly and gradually it will start to happen. But just realize that some people need that teachings and those organizations. And not all organizations are high vibrational right now, but eventually the lower ones are going to disappear by this energy of karma or the justice being served. But what we need to understand is we can't just say all religions are bad and they're doing this to mess up people and blah blah blah. The moment you do that, you're no different than these people who's teaching these conditional beliefs, because you're in separation. It's a message that I'm guided to share by source. So you want to stay in unconditional love. And that does not mean you accept bad, or you accept bad in a sense that what's not serving people with their highest good of all. Just simply that you are allowing and honoring. And you are adding the energy of peace so that they can transform themselves. That's the power of love. So we say love is verb. It's not words, right? We can say I love you and how much I care for you, but people always say look at their actions and behaviors. It's going to tell. We want to stay unconditional like that. And you're going to, or you have been experiencing perhaps a lot of betrayals in your life, or the feelings of betrayal, okay? Or feeling, or that you are now having more consciousness and you are seeing through people's true intentions, and therefore that's revealing true colors. Okay, and so you learn something about someone and it's maybe disappointing to you, or even your closest family members or closest friends. That can happen. That's why a lot of friendships and relationships are ending, and also new relationships and friendships are forming at this time, or will be. And so it has to do with that karmic energies of attachment. And something about forgiveness is from my own personal experience and my own meditation, tapping into what it really means. It was something that I really wanted to learn so I can forgive myself as well, and I can share this knowledge with everyone, was coming to a realization that it's about self-acceptance. So forgiveness is not something, from my experience, saying that, okay, he did this for this reason, so therefore I forgive him. It's not from that logical sense or reasoning or justifying or trying to look at it from like a positive light only. Because what I saw and realized and felt energetically was that there is a forcing that's happening, because it's convincing yourself. But when you are doing that, the energy still lingers on, because you're not completely free, because you are forcing yourself to be in that position. So what I realized was that the more you accept yourself, the forgiveness happens automatically. So the more you love yourself, more you realize your value and worth, meaning you simply learning to trust how valuable you are, how worthy you are, just for you existing, just for you operating, just for you breathing, which takes a lot of work, to be quite honest. But the more you do it, the forgiveness happens automatically. So there's a lot of different techniques like Hopoponos, is it? Yeah, I can't remember. So it's this mantra that you say, I'm sorry, I love you, and I thank you, and I let you go, and all these things. You can use these affirmations because it brings up certain energies that's going to help with your energies that's stored as in a form of anger, resentment, or any guilt or shame in your heart space, to dissolve that as you say these words. Okay. So you can use these techniques or these mantras, but also the key is to constantly do this conscious effort to realize who you really are. So the key is in remembering who you are, that you are the cosmos, that you are the universe, that you are the magic. You are the beauty in this world, but we don't believe that because of the conditioning that we've been doubted, right? We've been criticized, judged, punished, projected with other people's beliefs and opinions that are rooted in fear and separation. So we used to separate ourselves. That's where we always feel the self-conflict, the battle within ourselves. It's like one aspect is here, there. So we're putting all this misaligned, just like the backbone and the bone structure, into alignment. Boom, 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 right? And this is the process that we are going through. And with the symbol, the new golden age has kicked off. And with that, around that time, after the full moon in Leo, I received this channel song. And when I sang the song, it was the song by Carpenters. And I was singing that song, and as I was singing it, all throughout when I was walking in nature, these two birds came flying in, just sitting in front of me, in front of this tree. And I usually know because I'm very much connected to the bird kingdom. And they didn't leave, and I knew that they had a message, and they were connecting with me. And I was meditating in front of them. And then when that happened, the thought came. And this was the first time thought came to me directly with the message of the keyword rebuild, rebuild. So we have to step up, and raise our vibration and use our conscious efforts to continue to heal and integrate these higher frequency energies and release what's been held in our heart center, and it's going to heal everything, the DNA activation and all of this transformation. Okay, so that what came was the chemistry, the chem, the city or the civilization that was built after the fall of Atlantis. So people who fled from that Atlantis, they built a city called Chem in where the region of Egypt right now. So that came up. It's called Khem, I believe. It's called Chem. That civilization, and with that, the thought gave me that information, chem, and chem as in chemistry and alchemy. So we need to use alchemical force now. It's the age of spirit, age of magic, using our words consciously to rebuild this new golden age once again. Okay, and with that, another message was that back in March, April time, when I was going through a lot of, things that I was clearing up and getting activated, in my dream time, again, it was very vivid. And a lot of things happened in my dream time. And one of the things was that I woke up and I knew with certainty that I was inside Sphinx. And there's a lot of information regarding the new golden age, the keys and information, and so much is inside that. And my spirit was inside it, downloading and receiving some keys and codes. And I don't remember what it was, but all I knew, and the spirit, I think, was intentionally had me remember that. And when I start to remember that once again, that time, and the New York City has been coming up quite often, up until recently, that I mentioned also in my previous video, and rebuilding the New York City and clearing the energy there. And all of a sudden, the information that came was there are different energy points throughout US, where the continent of US is right now, that holds more keys and clues and information that we can access to build the new golden age, just like the new golden age back in Atlantis time. So that has to be unlocked, and that is unlocking as well right now. And the Stonehenge is the energy point for higher heart that also came back in March and April time in 2023. And then, when I received the message from Gaia, I was like so in a urge. It's like, I need to go to UK, I need to go to Stonehenge. And I brought this burning bush stone, and I was holding it. I need to go there. I need to put it in the ground, in the Stonehenge, to activate the higher heart. And I was like feeling this rush because, it was like everything was coming in so quickly and so much. I realized later that was the information telling me earlier that what was to take place towards the end of 2023, that we are going to open up our higher heart in the collective. So just like that, we need to open these gates, just like the gates in Neptune opened up, and different sources throughout US, where the Sphinx are, the representation of the Sphinx, or the symbolic, or it could be the same, but that didn't come clearly. But that energy and that information has been stored within the US, the continent of the US, and that is something that we are also going to work with to rebuild the new golden age, is what has been coming up. So to do that on an individual level, to contribute to this energy, I want you to stay healing, and I want you to not choose battle anymore, which was your comfort zone because of the addiction to fight that I mentioned in my previous video, that we are healing these addictions. Okay, and so to do that, we also need the support of the physical body. That's why it's going to be very important to change what you are consuming, because everything is your energy. And one of the things that I'm also guided to share at this time is when you're eating meat products or any of the cheese, milk, any of the byproducts from the milk, cows, or animals, is because they have their own intelligence. So every organism that's living on earth that is existing has its own intelligence. And we think that we are the only one that's intelligent, but they have their own intelligence. Because of the ego, we feel superior to them, but it's all equal. And so when we are killing them, even though, I heard the word like conscious farming, like back in the days, even though you may be doing conscious farming and killing them with love and, a lot of kindness to the animal, they still know that they're going to die, meaning that they're going to get killed. So they're constantly living in fear. Okay? And this, I don't know, maybe they feel the feeling of betrayal because they're being loved and now they're getting slaughtered when the time comes up. So because of their intelligence, sensing these things, they go into survival, and we are all mammals. And so that's why we have the reptilian side of the brain that we shouldn't be scared of. It's part of our survival DNA that used to help us. But we are evolving now and healing that part, and we are not letting that being the active operator anymore, right? So just like that, the animals also know and sense this. And just like our nervous system, they have emotions. That's why we connect to every animal or organisms, right? We exchange love, energy of love, okay? So they sense everything. It's stored in their nervous system, in their cells, in their blood, everywhere. And when we consume those, we also take on their trauma as well. So it's going to lower your vibration and anchoring you down, and which we did in the age of darkness, starting with the age of Leo, because it's all about survival and we needed that to survive. But as we go into more light body, we need to consume more of the types of foods that are going to provide light. Photosynthesis is what is coming up, and you want to be aware of any synthetic materials or the chemicals that you consume, is because I also received the news in relation to the idea of parasite, and it can be anything, anywhere. There's a parasite on a mental level, emotional level, on a physical level, the food level, the physical, the gut. The parasite in the gut is eating the nutrients. The parasite in the mind is eating the mind up, right? Putting you into the negative beliefs and thoughts, right? Creating negative emotions. And also, right now, I received the information that what the forces that are trying to hold their status quo, living in the age of darkness, to hold their power over the masses, what they're creating and trying to stay people put in control is through foods. So they're going to inject synthetic parasites that can operate through EMF. Okay, so they can inject these EMFs into the animal products or any foods that we consume. And then when we consume that, it's going to be in our system of the body. So as I was talking about the synthetic parasite, my phone died. And so I had to wait until it charged a little bit. And then I recorded the whole 18-minute video. And then my microphone wasn't on, so I'm just double checking, okay, to make sure. So it was all gone. So I'm re-recording. So going back to that EMF stuff. So we want to be aware and we want to educate ourselves. So do your own independent research of something to find out the truth. And that's one way to keep your power to yourself and so that you make the choices that is best for you, that is beyond deceptions of the current society that is taking place in a lot of places right now, okay? So I'm also guided to share, to educate yourself, to read the nutritional labels. And there are a lot of things like natural flavoring and blah, blah, blah. So all these are chemical and synthetic. So they use a lot of these tactics to now deceive people. So anything that you cannot read or understand is too vague, ambiguous, is something that you need to rethink and avoid and do your research on, okay? Because as we raise our frequency, we also need to raise the frequency of the physical body so that it can heal the nervous system and support the DNA activation, the cellular transformation that is taking place right now with the new energies, the new earth frequency. So that is something that I'm really guided for you to do at this time. And any of GMO, any of synthetic products, any of, seedless fruits, so any fruits without seed, it's something to be avoided because it's going to mess up our cellular structure, because our body is from the nature. So anything that is against nature that we consume, it's going to cause some side effect. So it can rehabilitate our physical strength and body. That's affecting everything in our chakras. So that's what they've been using as tactics. And now, especially with grapes, it's hard to find any seed grapes with seed, because everywhere I went, it was seedless grapes that was available, even in organic supermarkets or markets. They said it's organic, but it was seedless. So it's also something that you want to do your research on and discern for yourself to support your system. Okay, so with the energy of the Pluto entering into Aquarius, what came was also the story of Pinocchio. So Pinocchio, Pinot, it represents the pineal gland, meaning the third eye. So we are having this third eye activation, and with that, on the 25th of January, where it was the full moon in Leo, in my meditation, what I saw was the Excalibur from that legend of King Arthur, okay? And that represented the New Earth leaders. And that also goes back to that time of March, February, April in 2023, where I received for the first time about the message of King Arthur and that sword. And what that represented was I was receiving the message of what was to take place in the year 2023, once again, back then. And so what I saw this time was, back then, what I received was everything, a lot of people are going to be crowned. Okay, I didn't know what that meant. But on that day, what I saw was I was pulling the sword up. And immediately I saw this image from the tarot, the Ace of Swords, which represents the truth. So with this third eye activation, we are going to see through deceptions and put the sword out and speak the truth, live in our truth, meaning the authenticity of who we are, which represents the age of Aquarius. Okay, so that was very significant, and all these new earth leaders are going to be stepping up to speak their truth and share the truth. Because not a lot of people, especially with people in the spiritual community as well, unless you're integrated and continuously working on growing and evolving yourself, they're likely to share some sort of things that are not in alignment with the highest truth. And back in that time, the source had me experience this directly with these two souls who came through in regards to my Egyptian timeline. They were already doing light language working, and they were a lot of wisdom keeper, and they had spiritual gifts. But what I saw was a lot of less ego integration, a lot of karmic work that they need to do because they're dealing with a lot of power struggle. And I tap into their trauma blueprint already that they carry still from this lifetime. But they believe that they are done. They're done from all this karmic work. They're moved on from this past timelines, however they call it. And so they were in a lot of operation of the ego. And I even saw this one person sharing false information. It's not to share the false information was their intention, but to feel superior over other people on a subconscious level was the energy that I tapped into. And with this energy so strong, when I gave her the information, she misused it and presented as something for the public, while it was for her personal stuff that she needed to work on. Okay, so that way was for me to experience the spiritual community or the shadow side of this. So we always want to, whether you're in spiritual community or not, we want to make sure that we are aligned with the purest intentions, and make sure that we are coming from that and align ourselves first and make sure that we are sharing the truth with people. And that within knowing that truth, even though people may judge and they say she doesn't know what she's talking about, that's not possible. When you are standing in your truth, because you know you are connected to the divine, everything is being seen by source in the universe. And so those of you who wants to play God or who's playing with God is going to be given justice or karma in year 2024 is what I'm also receiving to share as well. Because I'm not trying to scare anyone, but the reason why I keep saying to scare is because I know that a lot of people still hold that fear signature. So whenever they hear this, it may trigger something within them, the fear. So that's why I'm trying to repeat and remind you. But just know that whatever that comes, if you have this heart, I'm going to accept because I chose it. That's when you release karma. Okay, that's when you release yourself from this imprisonment or the illusion, because when you say, I accept no matter what it is, however it comes, because I chose it, is because in that moment you are sitting in your throne. You are sitting in your power within. Okay, you are the owner of your reality. Okay, so that's why we need to be in that place of self-acceptance. And when you start to accept more of these choices that you made, the guilt will be dissolved because you're in your power within, knowing that nothing can harm you because you're in love. And with that, the George Orwell's quote is coming up to me with the message that fear cannot control someone in love. When a person is in love, the fear cannot control that person. That's where we are heading into and healing right now. And on the opposite end, love transforms, dissolves fear. That's how powerful love is. And love simply means self-acceptance at this point is what I'm getting. Because self-acceptance meaning in relation to remembering who you really are. So with that spiral symbol that came during my meditation on the new moon, full moon in Leo, we were healing the wounded Leo, the divine masculine that was wounded, and also the divine feminine that was wounded because of this age, like the scarlet letter are, the witch persecution, right? All of these people who had power of themselves and exercising alchemy and magic were condemned, were punished, right? Were persecuted. So a lot of these wounds we are healing right now. And so when you are accepting more of who you are, you're starting to remember. And when you remember, you are detaching meaning you are no longer choosing to stay angry or resentful because you're no longer choosing battle with anyone. You are at peace with yourself. Okay, with that, Pinocchio, the story of Pinocchio, is that Pinocchio had to learn to evolve, to become conscious or have consciousness, was to understand and learn about deceiving people and situations and discern, right? And also he had to learn not to lie to himself or to other people. The nose got longer, right? And also he had to stop distracting himself from entertainment, which is distracting, escaping, and what's going on currently with a lot of entertainment, a lot of things around us, causing drama, chaos, and also a lot of, so-called festivals and parties are intentionally used to put people into the illusion of feeling high, because otherwise they will see through and they will complain, they will protest. So that was one way to put down that fire within those people, right? So a lot of these forms are taking place. So once we move ourselves out of that, we start to activate our pineal gland, our third eye, which is very much in support with the energies that we're receiving right now. So you want to continue to stay with the purest, highest intention with whatever that you say or do or choose to do in your actions, right? To yourself and with other people. And also you want to be discerning so you can see through the manipulations of others' play, so you no longer enmesh or entangle your energy with that. That's going to lower your vibration. And also you want to stop distracting yourself, okay? And so right now, what I'm seeing is two separate energies. So one group would be those individuals in the collective who may still feeling or dealing with a lot of emotional wounds that they're healing from. Especially they may feel a lot of anxiety, especially with this rising of frequency of the Palladian healing energy. The more the light comes, the dark is no place to hide, so it has to come up. So all the shadow aspects are going to come up to the surface, where they may experience deep depression or constant anxiety, heart palpitation, or situations where they feel triggered and the body is reacting to that, right? Shivering, or, because it is trying to clear up that memory, the nervous system, okay? Trying to release that right now, so that worries and anxieties could take place, and you want to face them. So know that right now we are still in the integration period, where the real beginning starts in spring. When the spring equinox kicks off, that's the cycle of the energy. But they also manipulated our calendar so that they created the January, where we are still in winter season, as the new beginning. So the people go against the natural rhythm or the biological rhythm of the cycle. Okay, so we are still in winter season, where a lot of people may be in hermit mode, still integrating. So you want to take this time to reflect and review and integrate these energies, where we are going out of the one comfort zone and moving to the new that needs integration. We're receiving new frequencies, so we need to integrate our body. So we need to allow our body to relax and also learn how to stay in joy and peace. So a lot of the times what could happen is, because of this new energy, if you've been doing a lot of healing work, especially for new earth leaders, so-called, take however resonates, what you may be experiencing is a bit of stagnancy, or this feeling of boredom may come. And this is because we need to adjust the frequency, because we are so used to the environment of chaos and drama, right? Arguments and fights, all these power struggles, where we constantly felt like we needed to survive, even in the home environment, right? And in society, in schools, at work, it's even, it could be even intense. Okay, so we learned to perceive this time of peace as boredom. And so we constantly look for some sort of drama, Okay, so that was the old pattern, and we are healing from that. So when this time of peace and not much is happening right now, we don't see this as peace or joy or love, but we see this as boredom, and it leads us to restlessness or recklessness or impatience. So that's a survival pattern that we are moving out of. So something that you can do is you can stay grounded, stay present, and be grateful by focusing on what you're grateful for in this moment. Find beauty in all its existence. Connect with flowers, the sky, ground yourself, right? And when you are in that place of presence, then you no longer fall back into that place where you are constantly seeking chaos on a subconscious level because of the nervous system, because of all this. So something you can do is you can use breathing once again to relax your body and choose what is peaceful, joyful, what is fun for you. Not this idea of escaping or like high adrenaline, like you don't want to go for alcohol or extreme partying all night or, however it is, because all of these were used to put people into sleep. So we don't want to stay intoxicated. We want to stay conscious and awake. So this is something that we need to integrate right now before springtime comes in. That is the energy that I'm getting right now and the message that I'm guided to share from Source. So allow this beautiful seventh dimensional healing energy from Pleiades to support you, to open up your Christ consciousness energy in your heart center. And this will take place during your sleep waking hour. The more your body feels relaxed, more you're at peace within, stabilizing your root chakra in nature, it's going to be easier for you to embody and integrate this energy within your physical body, the vessel, in your cells, and in all your structures inside. Okay? So lastly, about forgiveness is that when you are just in love constantly, seeking, not even seeking, but when you are connected with everything that is around you in love, when you start to love the table, love the pen that you're using, love the clothes that you're wearing, honor them, love the body and honor the body, love all parts of yourself, right? That is how you are staying in this present moment. And the more you do that, more you are in love. And when a person is in love, fear cannot control. Because you are in high vibration, you're not lowering your vibration, you're no longer going to attract these energy vampires, so-called, or these lower entities using other tactics to get to you to lower your vibration. Okay, so when you are in that place, continue to go inward is the key. Continue to go inward, and the more you go inward, the more you are going to forgive, meaning everything happens naturally. The fear subsides. You no longer feel like you need to fight, hold on to that anger or resentment. Okay, so with that, I hope this message helps, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.